is the LLM the key or are prompts the holy grail? It's a really interesting question. I think from my perspective, all of the different LLMs have their own persona. So you might use Claude or you definitely use it for coding and those types of tools. We also use it for writing content most of the time. But then you might use Grok for research, especially anything to do with X and the sentiment that you find on X. And then you might use ChatGPT for something else. So like, I, I think they have a lot of their own different personas and their own use cases. However, they are like converging. So like the more training that they do for newer models, the more power that they can use in order to train those models. They all seem to be like approaching to the same destination. So there probably becomes a time where they all become the same, but I don't know if they're there yet. I think there are still different use cases for each model. Now, the prompts are also like super important because, and the prompts are different for the different ways that you're using it. So when I first got started, I had like a prompt framework that I would follow religiously all of the time. And that was actually detrimental to a certain degree because there's sometimes when you need like a really solid prompt framework where you're providing context, you're providing brand context, you're providing like the instruction of what it needs to do, an example, and all of these things. But sometimes you don't actually need all of that stuff. Like you can actually get a lot more from the AI if you give it a much broader scope to actually go out and be a little bit creative. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. So for us, when we're building automations, typically our prompts are massive because we're feeding in a lot of different variables about the brand, about the, like, for example, if we're creating content based on a transcript, we're feeding in the transcript and the name of the person and all of these types of things. And it could be like 5 pages long, the entire prompt. So it really just depends. I think the only way to figure it out is to explore all of them and to test them all and like understand the different use cases that you are using them for. But I guess as a general rule, like I said before, we use Grok for a lot of research and sentiment analysis. We use Claude and ChatGPT for the main parts of our business. Claude, especially for any coding automation type work, and Gemini, obviously, they're getting great at image creation and also like large context windows and sorting through all of that data. So yeah, that would be my answer. Do you have an opinion on that, Simone, or not so much?
I just would want to say that the one thing we do have to remember is that these are just tools. So don't get stuck on, I'm just going to use Claude. Just think about, okay, well, I'm just going to try them all out. They're all just separate tools. Let's have a play with them and see what happens. There's nothing wrong with spending 20 minutes just trying out, okay, well, let's see what happens if I post the same prompt into Claude as to Gemini, right? Because the thing is, over time, everything's going to change. And as I said, 2 months ago, everybody was ChatGPT. Now everybody is literally into Claude. So in another 2 to 3 months' time, everybody could be talking about Gemini. We don't know. So what I would say is just think about them as tools, not as I'm just going to get stuck with Claude and that's what I'm going to use. And Claude's going to be my best friend and it's going to build my whole business. And I'm just going to love Claude forever. Just think this is a tool. How can I best use what I've got access to, which is all of the tools, to create the outcome that I desire, and keep being aware that as you go through, things change. For example, new iPhone every 12 months because the tools get better. And these tools are exactly the same like that. It's one of those things where they're always going to be growing and expanding. So try them out. In 3 months' time, come back and try them again. See whether something's shifted. See whether you prefer more or less. See what the output is. Because your business is going to grow at the rate of which you can allow yourself to expand, grow, and evolve, and to build the systems to support you to do that. So if something changes and you can implement really quick and try something else that works even better, why not? So that would be my opinion there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to watch the entire episode, click here. And if you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.